Good morning. It's Thursday, June 26th. Here's what we're working on this morning. Today is the last day of class for many students across the region.
Hamilton's new arena now has a sponsored name.
And the Toronto Raptors have selected their newest player at the NBA draft. It's Friday Eve.
Yes, it is.
Temperatures come down a bit.
Yes.
So is the rain.
So is the rain.
We got soaked coming in. Yeah. All of us did coming in this morning.
Was it pouring this morning or what? I mean, you know, you get up right now and you go, it's not too bad out there. But this morning, like when you came in, when I came in, it was just teeming down. Umbrellas were going into the wind, and it's like, oh my goodness. Even Beezy didn't want to go out this morning. You took a couple of steps out the back door and went, nope, turned around and came right back in. It's too wet out here, Dad. I can't do that. Yeah, so we are looking for, yes, a cooler day today. Today's forecast high is 22. We haven't been there in a while. I mean, even yesterday we got to 29 degrees. So today 22, it'll feel like the mid-20s when you factor in the humidity. And there's a lot of humidity this morning. The humidity right now is 100%, and we've had some showers. We had that steady rain. It's tapered off now, so we will get some scattered showers and fairly cloudy skies for the day today. But yeah, a 20-degree high, and we're sitting in the teens right now. We're sitting at 18 degrees at the moment, so, you know, about where we were yesterday morning, but a cooler day. Tomorrow, showers and thunderstorms again, so staying fairly unsettled. All right, we'll talk about that coming up. Traffic this morning, doing okay here, no problems. 403 Waterdown Road, that's our exclusive camera, doing fine in the Hamilton area. If we go to our MTO traffic camera, we have one collision already here this morning. And this is the QEW Toronto-bound lanes coming towards us at Mississauga Road. And of course, you're starting to go through all that construction there. And you can see it's backed up there past Lorne Park as you go Toronto-bound on the QEW. That's the only situation we have so far this morning. We'll keep our eye on that, and we'll look at traffic in detail coming up in a few minutes, plus the forecast, of course. Right now, the news.
Thank you, Brian. Striking Hamilton water workers are once again causing delays for transit users this morning. The HSR says some buses are running late due to the labor disruption at the Mountain Transit Center. Riders are asked to check their trip planning app for updates. Now, the city has released a statement saying it remains committed to a fair and fiscally responsible agreement for both water workers and Hamilton taxpayers. Despite repeated efforts, including meetings on May 26th and June 13th, striking water workers continue to reject the city's offers, which included wage increases of up to 10%, faster progression to top pay, and premium incentives. The city says the union insists on wage parity with a different bargaining unit, despite key differences in job duties. Talks resume tomorrow. Meanwhile, the city says essential water services remain safe and fully operational.
Many students across the region are now just hours away from finishing up the school year and starting their summer vacation. Simone Gavros joins us now from Bonetto Elementary in Hamilton with all the excitement. A bit of that excitement's been watered down this morning.
Yeah, Annette, I mean, I'm sure we're going to see a lot of smiling faces today, even though there is some rain and it's much colder today compared to what we saw all week long. But soon there's going to be no more homework and no more waking up early at all for students, as the summer vacation is just hours away. Now, depending on the school board, that is what is going to determine when your last day of school is. So here with the Hamilton Public Board, that's where the last school is starting today. But the last day of school for the Catholic Board starts tomorrow. So you're very close. We're almost at the end of the race there. Now, when we head into Halton as well, they have their last day of school for the Catholic and public school tomorrow. But this year, there was a big focus on restricting cell phone use in the classroom, as well as a push for the need for more teachers. This morning, I'll be speaking to the Director of Education with the Hamilton Wentworth District School Board, the trustees chair, and the principal at Bonetto Elementary. And of course, I'll be talking to some very happy students. Now, school doesn't start for another couple hours, but we are going to be talking to some students here shortly. We also have some families to speak to as well, and we'll be here all morning long to capture all this excitement. But for now, things back over to you, Rick.
Thank you, Simone. The daughter of a Grimsby man missing since Saturday is growing increasingly worried.
My father is in trouble and something is wrong.
Alicia Rouleau is getting the word out about her father. 72-year-old Wolfgang Glazer hasn't been seen since leaving two Grimsby businesses he visits every day. Glazer walks with a cane. He's white with brown and gray hair and white facial hair. On Saturday, he was wearing gray pants and a blue Reduce, Reuse, Rethink t-shirt.
I have an army of amazing people on foot in Hamilton and Grimsby and all over Southern Ontario trying to get the word out.
Wolfgang Glazer is believed to be driving his 2007 silver Mazda 5. A surveillance camera picked him up about 10 minutes after his last known sighting on Saturday was near the Niagara Gateway Information Center by the QEW and Casablanca Boulevard.
Hamilton police have set up another command post in their search for a missing Dundas man. They were doing a ground search near Millgrove United Church in Flamborough yesterday afternoon. 62-year-old John Edwards was spotted on Wednesday, June 11th. That's the day he left St. Joseph's Villa in Dundas, walking near Millgrove Side Road and Cumminsville Drive. Edwards has cognitive vulnerabilities and has been walking a considerable distance. Police are worried about his condition in the recent extreme heat. Hamilton City Councillors have unanimously rejected two proposals to expand the city's urban boundary and build thousands of homes on farmland. The move reinforces the city's commitment to focus growth within existing neighborhoods. The developers are expected to appeal to the Ontario Land Tribunal, where city officials say the fight is far from over. A senator is recovering after collapsing on the Senate floor in the midst of a debate on the federal government's major projects bill.
Senator Brazo.
Thank you very much. And
50-year-old Patrick Brazo appeared to be recovering following an examination by paramedics. The legislation Brazo was planning to speak about, Bill C-5, would grant the federal government sweeping new powers to fast-track project permits. It moved quickly through the House of Commons last week with the help of the Conservatives. Indigenous and environmental groups want more consultation. Well, Canada and its NATO allies have agreed to more than double their defense spending target by 2035.
Canada has already beginning working towards a target of 3.5% of GDP by 2035. By expanding our plan to invest in the Canadian Armed Forces, to modernize our military equipment and technology, to help build up our own defense and security industries, as well as to diversify our defense partnerships. We're also working to ensure that we are spending 1.5% of our GDP in defense and security-related infrastructure.
And Prime Minister Mark Carney says 5% of gross domestic product, GDP, would put Canada's defense spending around $150 billion a year. An analysis by Desjardins pegs it at more than $200 billion. It's official. Hamilton's downtown arena has a new name. It's TD Coliseum. This will be the fourth name given to Hamilton's iconic arena, which opened in 1985 under the name of Copps Coliseum in honor of longtime Hamilton Mayor Vic Copps. It was later changed to First Ontario Centre in 2014 after Hamilton City Council voted unanimously in favour of a $3.5 million deal to rename the arena after First Ontario Credit Union. In 2023, the city finalized a $280 million renovation of the space. The arena is set to reopen late this year with performances by Brad Paisley and Andrea Bocelli scheduled at the venue in December.
Sportsline, round one of the NBA draft is in the books, and the Raptors seem to be happy with their pick.
With the 9th pick in the 2025 NBA draft, the Toronto Raptors select Colin Murray Boyles from the University of South Carolina.
Colin Murray Boyles is described as a versatile and relentless long-armed defender. He averaged 16.8 points, 8.3 rebounds, 1.5 steals, and 1.3 blocks per game as a sophomore for South Carolina. The 20-year-old is a 6'7" forward who was the only SEC player with more than 40 blocks and 40 steals this past season. As expected, Dallas selected College Player of the Year Cooper Flagg from Duke with the first overall pick. Will Riley was the first Canadian taken in the draft when the Kitchener native went 21st overall to Utah, but was then traded to Washington. It was a busy day off the field for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. The Cats released linebacker Kyle Wilson after 5 seasons. He led the team with 88 defensive tackles last year, but Hamilton is replacing him with Canadian rookie Devin Varasic in time for tomorrow night's home game against Montreal. Running back Greg Bell has been ruled out of the game with a calf injury, paving the way for Johnny Augustine to make his first start of the year. Hamilton Sports Group also announcing former All-Star center Marwan Hage has become a minority owner. Week 4 of the CFL season begins tonight with Edmonton visiting Winnipeg. Jose Ramirez hit a walk-off single in the 10th inning as Cleveland beat the Blue Jays 5-4 in Max Scherzer's return to the mound. The veteran allowed 3 runs over 5 innings, throwing 83 pitches and striking out 4 in his first start since March 29th when he landed on the injured list. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hit his 11th home run of the season in the loss. The rubber match goes this afternoon. Hamilton Cardinals banged out 5 home runs en route to an 18-6 win over the Maple Leafs in Toronto. Hamilton's Brandon Nickel went 5 for 7 with 2 taters and 4 RBI and was a triple short of hitting for the cycle. Hamilton visits Welland tonight in the latest battle in the CHCH QEW Cup Series. Buffalo Sabres have traded forward J.J. Peterka to the Utah Mammoth for forward Josh Doan and defenseman Michael Kesserling. The 23-year-old Peterka is coming off consecutive 25-plus goal seasons and was set to become a restricted free agent next week. The Edmonton Oilers have dealt Evander Kane to the Vancouver Canucks for the 117th pick in this weekend's NHL draft. It clears more than $5 million in salary cap space for the Oilers, who are expected to use some of that money to re-sign defenseman Evan Bouchard. By the way, the NHL and Players Association reportedly discussing adding 2 more games to the 82-game regular season in time for the 2026-27 season.
Good morning. It's 12 minutes after 6 o'clock, and it is a Thursday morning, 26th of June. We've had some heavy rain this morning, and we could get some more showers as the day progresses. Now that rain is tapered off at the moment, it's just fairly misty and cloudy right now. Looking at traffic, 403 and Waterdown Road. Oh, yeah, you can see a bit of a shake on the camera there. The wind is fairly strong this morning from the northeast, gusting to about 40 kilometers an hour already, but nothing there in traffic. Let's go to some MTO traffic cameras. Ministry of Transportation Ontario. Good news is the problem that we had at the QEW in Mississauga Road, Toronto-bound lanes, which are the lanes heading away from us. Now that collision is gone, so things are starting to move fairly well there. Nikola Tesla Boulevard looks good. 403 Junction coming out of Hamilton toward Brant Street. Nothing to see. Ford plant all the way through Etobicoke Creek. Doing fine so far this morning right now. Our temperature has just fallen a degree. Actually, we were 18 last hour, now sitting at 17. Those are the winds. Northeast 29, gusting to 40. Humidity right up there. Now, I haven't seen any blue sky out there this morning, but Environment Canada is saying that, yeah, it's mostly cloudy, so there's a little bit of blue out there somewhere. Air quality risk today in the low risk category, so it's really come down quite nicely. For school today, one of the last days of school today, we should hit 22 degrees. So, yeah, a lot cooler for a change, but still a humidity is going to make it feel like 26. And there's that northeast wind that we'll have for the day today. On and off showers are going to linger. There's that line of precipitation. Over the past 6 hours, notice the brighter colors just passing through Hamilton. Those were the heavy downpours we had a little earlier. They've pushed off into the Niagara region now. We've got this frontal boundary staying to the south of us and another approaching low pressure system, which is what gives us the instability. So we'll get some showers today, showers and even possible thunderstorms for the day tomorrow. So today, temperatures anywhere from 22 to 24, 25 for Cayuga and Simcoe. And there's that chance of showers during the day. Tonight, again, the showers could continue. Temperatures 15, 16, generally 17 degrees. So fairly cloudy overnight and showers. And then tomorrow, showers and possible thunderstorms. Temperatures anywhere from, well, 23 for Burlington to 29 for Simcoe and Cayuga. A little warmer there, but generally mid-20s for the day tomorrow. So out the door, 26th of June. It is mostly cloudy. It is fairly windy, and temperature right now sitting at 17. Long range, of course, coming up. Annette, Rick.
Thank you, Brian. Coming up after the break, we're going to say good morning to Emily Vukovic with a preview of what's to come in Chit Chat. StatsCan has released the average asking rent prices. We'll have those details coming up in 2. All right, let's say good morning to Emily Vukovic. Emily, what is happening in Chit Chat this morning?
Hi, good morning. Soap opera Beyond the Gates, which airs right here on CHCH, shakes up daytime television in a very dramatic way. We will discuss. And former Blues Clues host Steve Burns is launching a podcast for adults. Now, Rick, you probably, did your kids grow up with? Yeah, that was definitely, because my niece...
dog? Blues Clues
yes.
Yeah, the one that interacts with the host.
Is Steve still wearing his same shirt in this podcast? Because that would be stellar.
You know what? He might be. He might be. Yeah, I'll have to do some research on that.
Okay.
Later on this morning, we're going to talk about Marvel and how the studio has dropped the final trailer for the Fantastic Four First Steps movie.
All right, looking forward to that. Thanks, Emily.
No worries.
Business news. The Canadian dollar is up 20 basis points to 73.08 cents U.S. Gold is $16.80 an ounce higher. And crude is up 6 cents, trading just under $65 U.S. a barrel. In midday European trading, markets are up in London, Frankfurt, and Paris.
In Asia, markets soared in Tokyo, but Hong Kong and Shanghai saw a bit of losses. North American markets, the TSX lost over 150 points at close yesterday. The Dow was down more than 100, and the Nasdaq gained 61.
The average asking rent for a 2-bedroom apartment in the Hamilton area went down slightly in the first quarter of this year. According to Statistics Canada, this year, the asking rent was around $2,100 a month compared to $2,200 from last year's fourth quarter. Although a 1-bedroom apartment saw a slight increase of about $10. Other cities in the area, Brantford saw a slight decrease in asking rent, where a 2-bedroom apartment would run for about $1,880 a month. In St. Catharines, rent went slightly up for a 1-bedroom, but down for 2 bedrooms. And Toronto's asking rent went down to $2,690 a month for 2 bedrooms. Vancouver has the highest rent in the country, with an average asking of over $3,000 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment.
Porter Airlines is taking off more flights from Hamilton's International Airport. It's announced its first flights to sun destinations in Mexico, the Caribbean, and Costa Rica. They're going to start this winter from John C. Munro Hamilton International Airport, as well as from Pearson and Ottawa. They are Porter's first routes outside Canada and the U.S. Now, from Hamilton, the first flight south on Porter will start in the middle of December.
The DHL Express Canada facility at John C. Munro Airport will soon resume operations. Unifor says it has reached a tentative agreement with the company to get workers back on the job across the country. The union says details of the agreements will not be disclosed until after a ratification vote is held, which is expected in the coming days. DHL Express Canada locked out workers on June 8th and as of last Friday temporarily halted its operations. Unifor represents more than 2,100 truck drivers, couriers, and warehouse and clerical workers at the company.
A major tenant at Burlington's Mapleview Mall is leaving. Decathlon, which sells sporting goods, is shutting down 5 of its stores in the GTHA, including other locations in Brampton, Markham, Scarborough, and Vaughan. No dates have been set, and Decathlon hasn't said how many staff will lose their jobs. The company, which is based in France, says it's evolving its retail strategy in Canada and is considering opening smaller locations or using a wholesale distribution model. There will still be 1 store left in Ottawa and then a number across the country as well.
All right. Taking a break right now. Brian is going to be back with traffic and your 7-day weather forecast. Stay with us.
23 minutes after 6 o'clock. It's a fairly wet Thursday morning here. The roads are wet anyhow, but we have no problems at the moment. That's a look at Nikola Tesla Boulevard. So Toronto bound toward the Skyway, heading away from us. Nothing there, but the top of the Skyway is already getting pretty slow as you head down to North Shore Boulevard. So that's slow. Third line, yeah, a little bit busy. Nothing at Lorne Park. Flipping into the 403 at Mavis, that looks good. But generally speaking, yeah, wet roads this morning, and there'll be a lot of puddles, so be careful. Let's check temperatures right now. Hamilton's temperature this hour, we've come down from 18 last hour to 17, 16 for Toronto, 18 Grimsby, and for Mississauga. It's a mostly cloudy sky at the moment. So we're looking at sun times there today. Seasonal temperatures 25 for the daytime high and 40. We're not going to be even at seasonal daytime high today. We're going to be shy of that, and those are our records for today. For school today, one of the last days of school. It's the last day for a lot of classes, but tomorrow still some classes in areas. But 19 and showers for the first bell, still some scattered showers, and 22 for after school. And 22 is the daytime high for the day. It's going to feel like 26 when you factor in the humidity, which is high, and there's that chance of showers. 15 tonight, 25 tomorrow, humidex of 35, so the humidity increases. Sun, but chance of showers and thunderstorms. Still lingering showers on Saturday. Sunday going to be a nice bright sunny day and 28. Monday 30 for Canada Day on Tuesday. Now there is a chance of a shower, otherwise some sunshine. That's your forecast. Annette, Rick.
Thanks, Brian. A fire department's maintenance shop in Alaska had an unexpected visitor yesterday.
Not a driver.
There's a moose in here.
She was not needing a tune-up, one of the mechanics says. He heard some grunting, looked up, and saw the animal, and they're so big.
Wow.
He said the moose didn't look upset. It just looked like she was looking for her calves. After about 20 seconds, the moose left. She realized her calves weren't there. And good thing, because if they are extremely protective and can charge up to 56 kilometers an hour if they think their calves are in danger. Just looking around here. Yeah.
I love how the camera operator was like, I'm just going to step into this vehicle
way
here.
back. I mean, and you think too, like, it's a wonder because sometimes, garage floors are kind of greasy or oily.
Yes.
It's like a good thing she didn't run because she'd have slipped. And, yeah,
that wouldn't have been good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's probably the last thing you want to see in your shop.
But in Alaska, I wonder if they see that a lot. It's like, okay, know what to do.
Better than a bear.
Yes.
But I'm sure they see squirrels and rabbits, but moose, that's one for the record books. Stay with us. More to come after the break here on Morning Live. Working in there.